Joining me now is Asna Tabassum, University of Southern California valedictorian. Asna, thank you very much for joining us. My understanding is that this week you met with university officials to address security concerns. What happened in that meeting? Did they tell you about any specific threats?
No, actually, they did not tell me about any specific threats, and my request to ask for the details of such threats were denied. And so it leads me to consider whether the decision to revoke my speech was made on the basis of safety alone.
Do you have a sense of whether there was a concern for your safety or perhaps the safety of other students?
The safety, I think, is a priority for all students, including myself. And so it was made unclear to me because I received no details about what specifically the security threats were directed to.
So the university has said that this is not a free speech issue. Do you view it that way?
I think there's a nuance here. I think, I expressed an opinion through a link that I had on my Instagram. The hate and the vitriol that was unleashed towards me after, I think, was part of the reason that the university caved in. And so when it comes to being a free speech issue, sure, maybe my valedictory speech is a privilege, and it's a privilege I do not take lightly, and other students and evidently people around the world do not take lightly. But at the end of the day, my views, the views that I have expressed and the views that USC has instilled within me as well, were stifled and were subject to hate.
You just brought up a link that was posted through your social media page. I do want to ask you about that since you did bring it up. One of the items in this post calls for the complete abolishment of Israel. Is that a position that you endorse?
If you're asking me if I stand for human rights, if you're asking me if I stand for equality and unequivocal and unconditional right to life for all people, including Palestinians, then I'm not apologetic. I believe in what I believe, and it is because of the people around me that I've met at USC, the classes that I've taken, the professors that I have learned from, that have led me to look at the world in this way. And it's unfortunate that human rights is controversial.
The reason I'm asking is because that's what the link said. It called for the complete abolishment of Israel. Abolishment of Israel was in the actual language. Is that something that you endorse?
So the abolishment of the state of Israel, I'd like to clarify, is the abolishment of an apartheid system. It inherently is a system that subjugates Palestinians as dehumanized, and it subjugates Palestinian life as not worth the same as other human life. So when the link says...
So is that a yes, then?
I think a yes or a no would be an injustice to the issue, and I think that any sort of ideological debate or any sort of academic discourse is worth clarification and worth discussion.
You're in a university environment, and as a Muslim student, your experience is important and it matters, and as you said, you want the university to protect you, but I wonder about your Jewish classmates. Some of them have said that your selection to speak at their graduation has turned that event into an unwelcome and intolerant environment for Jewish students. What do you say to them?
I believe that every Jewish student at commencement deserves to be represented just as every other student at commencement. The position of having a valedictorian honor is supposed to be a unifying honor. And I believe that my commitment to human rights and my commitment to equal treatment should not be signified as, or not be manipulated into an expression of disunity. I think what I say to my Jewish classmates is that your feelings are heard, and I think that you're entitled to your own positions on an ideological or on the basis of academic discourse. But when it comes to human rights and when it comes to the unequivocal and unconditional right to life, then I think that all USC students, because I have faith in my university that instilled these values in us, I believe that all USC students believe in that.
Did you plan in your speech to talk about Israel and its actions? And if you had the opportunity to give it, what would you have said?
That's a great question. So I actually had not started working on my speech at all. If I were to be able to give a valedictory speech, a message of hope. When it comes to me saying a speech, again, me taking a valedictory speech that is supposed to be unifying, I would definitely encourage and I would challenge and I would implore my peers to reconsider and to consider the ways in which their education can allow them and offer them the responsibility to look at matters of the world and take them into their own lens, make their own decisions, and make their own I want to say, not be told what to believe, and then use those conceptions to make a change for the greater good.
Asna Tabassum, thank you very much for joining us, and I should say congratulations to you on being the valedictorian at USC. Thank you.
Thank you.